Hi, BookTube. It's Peg at the History Shelf. You know, I have to give props to Steve Donahue because I am working on my third video in a row. There's a lot I wanted to cover tonight, so I just thought I'd sit down and make a few videos. And I have to give him props because I'm exhausted. And he can just zip them off, like 5 a day or what. Anyway, yeah, this is my third one. And I'll get at least two uploaded tonight. This is the December TBR, you guys. Um, Let me roll my stack over here. I think I mentioned it in my coming attractions video that my stack is very it's very audacious. I'm biting off more than I can chew. My eyes are bigger than my stomach. All these lovely metaphors and stuff. But is that a metaphor or is that a what is that? I get them confused sometimes. Hey, I'm always going to be honest with you guys. Okay, December reads. I'm going to start off with two books that I've mentioned before. One of them is I slated it for nonfiction November, but I did start it. I started reading it in November, but I'm still reading it, and this is The Labyrinth of Ice. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm starting to really just pick up speed and zoom through it, and I'll be reviewing it when I'm done later this month. So looking forward to finishing that. It's by Buddy Levy. I'm doing a buddy reads with Sharon Goforth. Started reading this last night. A Campaign of Giants, The Battle for Petersburg, Volume 1. From the Crossing of the James to the Crater by A. Wilson Green. So just started to dip my toes into this. I'm trying to read at least 21 pages a night because with our buddy read, we need to read about 150 pages a week to get this finished in December. So yeah, that's the other thing. Making these videos, it's already almost 9:30 and I've worked all day. I stopped long enough to eat dinner, came back up into the room here to do these videos, and I'm like, crap, I still need to read my 21 pages here. Need to do about 20 pages in this book, and then I'm reading a fiction book that I'm going to be reviewing elsewhere, and I need to read like 25 pages of that just to stay on track. It's kind of nutty. So it's hard to do all this and still have a lot of time to read, but that's what BookTube, it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, so those are the two books I'm currently reading, but I have more that I've selected that I'm hoping to get to. So I think it was Bree Hill who mentioned she'd like to see maybe some type of some books on Vietnam because she recently, I think, took a class in that and was getting interested in the Vietnam War. And I received this book from Casemate Publishers. This is Just Another Day in Vietnam. This is a memoir by retired Colonel Keith Nightingale, and it looks fascinating. This is an exceptional piece of narrative history based on personal experience and hypothesis. This is a blurb that I'm reading. Whoa, sorry about that. This is a unique recounting of a single action that unfolded in June 1967 in the Third Corps sector of South Vietnam. But it's more than a memoir. Okay, Nightingale adopts multiple points of view to build up the story. In addition to the vital perspective of an American advisor to elite Vietnamese troops, he includes the stories of both the men on the ground and the commanders involved. He also includes the story of the informant who enticed the Rangers into the ferocious ambush, and the accounts of the Rangers taken prisoner and returned later by the North. So this looks like it's going to be a really good read. There's some photos in here too, kind of describing. I haven't read a good like Vietnam history in a while, and this one, of course, is memoir. But I like those two. I like being taken, and seeing through the eyes of a person who's actually there. So this is definitely one of the ones I will be tackling this month. Just Another Day in Vietnam by Colonel Keith Nightingale. Okay. Oh, and then I have I'm very excited to go back to my Civil War interests. This is published by the Naval Institute Press, and I'm also going to be reviewing it for them. This is Life in Jefferson Davis's Navy by Barbara Brooks Tomlin. This is a new release. And this came out, yep, just this year, I think a couple months ago. And, you know, I've read a lot about the naval operations in the Civil War, but this really takes you a little bit, zooms in a little more in focus on just an aspect of what it was like to be in the Confederate Navy, and from the standpoint of probably just the regular seamen, you know. I've always been intrigued by the different battles. Obviously, you know, when I was a little girl, I always thought the Battle of the Merrimack and the Monitor was just outstanding and just so exciting. It's just unusual for, you know, a little girl to be interested in stuff like that, but whatever, that's my jam. So yeah, Life in Jefferson Davis's Navy. I'm hoping that too, they're going to cover, that looks like the tail end of the Hunley right there. But the Hunley, the CSS Hunley, is also a fantastic story, a terrifying story, because, you know, the way they basically died and what people will do. I mean, if you've seen any documentaries about the raising of the Hunley, and you see how cramped, people just hunched over bars, like, you know, like this. I mean, and how do you even breathe? And it was like basically one of the first, I'm not going to say the first submarine. I mean, there were prototypes, but that one actually sunk a ship, you know, and then it sunk itself. But yeah, so I'm hoping they'll cover that aspect of it. Got some good illustrations and photos, stuff like that. Love it. Life in Jefferson Davis's Navy. Okay. This book looks pretty cool. It's a very slim read, so I'm hoping I can just knock it out. It's actually, this is an advanced reading copy. This comes out on January 7th. This is Samuel Woolley, The Reality Game, How the Next Wave of Technology Will Break the Truth. This kind of reminds me a little bit along the lines of the book I read and reviewed at Open Letters, Michael Lynch's Know-It-All Society. And it goes into the problem of online disinformation, and how it's just getting worse and worse. Here, I'll just read this really quick for you. Despite Samuel Woolley's warnings as early as 2013, the problem of online disinformation stormed our political process in 2016 and has only worsened since. Yet, as Woolley shows in this urgent book, it may pale in comparison to what's on the horizon. Human-like automated voice systems, machine learning, deep-fake AI-edited videos and images, interactive memes, virtual reality, and more. In stories both deeply researched and compellingly written, Woolley describes the profound impact these technologies will have on our politics. And it's kind of terrifying, but we need to know. We need to be aware of these things. So this is going to be a really good nonfiction read. I've just gotten more and more into this, you know, the Know-It-All Society book by Michael Lynch really just kind of triggered a hunger in me to read more about online disinformation, the way social media is used and abused, and we need to make ourselves aware that in many cases we're being manipulated. So this is The Reality Game, and it'll be coming out in January, and I will review it for you guys here when I'm done. Okay, again, I have picked a lot of books, you guys, and I don't know if I can get to all of them in the next 3.5 weeks, but, you know, I am taking some vacation. I'll be going on, like, staycation, December 19th through the end of the year. So, in addition to spending time with family and friends, and I just plan on reading and playing with my puppies, spending time with my girlfriend, spending time with my sister, my friends, going out to lunch, going to a movie. But I want to get a lot of reading done, so I'm hoping I can knock some of these out. And that's why I chose several, but I chose some that were slim. So here's another one that is a new book. It's very slim. I could read this in a couple hours. This is by the University Press of Mississippi. And you know, I'm a huge Grant fan, so anything that comes out on Grant, I just have to have. And this is Hold On with a Bulldog Grip, a short study of Ulysses S. Grant. We've got several writers on here, John Marzalek, David Nolan, Louis Gallo, and Frank J. Williams. So it's a very short, I mean, it's a short study. It says it is. But I just want to see what they say in here. You know, see if I could find anything new that I haven't already seen before. But that's a lesser known photo of Grant. Let me see if I can get the angle right. Right here. That's interesting. Again, I am just a Grant groupie. So yeah, and this should be a quick read. I should be able to get that done, and I'll also let you know how I like it. So I have 3 more books here that I'm hoping to fit in somewhere and somehow. 2 of them are coming out. Oh, one of them's already out, but I do have an advanced reading copy of it, and then one is, I think it's coming out this month. And I have many of this guy's, I'm sorry. I have many of this writer's works, and he's fantastic. And so anytime a new book by Frank DeCotter comes out, I have to have it. This is How to Be a Dictator, The Cult of Personality in the 20th Century. And my foot is falling asleep, so just so you know, that's why I'm moving. Ow! Wow, that hurts. Okay. We're going to keep pushing on. How to Be a Dictator. Yeah, so this is, he examines the cults and propaganda surrounding 20th century dictators from Hitler and Stalin to Mao Zedong and Kim Il-sung. As I've said before on this channel, and I'll say again, I minor in dictators. Yes, I don't know why. Oh my God! I'm sorry. My whole leg is falling asleep. 3 videos in a row, you guys. Ow. Okay, we're going to keep pushing on. I think it's going to be a great book. All right, we're going to zoom on because I can barely feel my toes. Oh my God. Hey, hang on, I'm going to pause and come right back.